morning, or it may not be morning where you are. I'm Dr. Kim Byrd-Rider. I'm in Bethel, Alaska at 5 a.m. and I am house sitting, so we've got this great kitchen today. We are going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We were wiring together the brain and the body using the breath. The breath is one arm of the spirit. There's the mind, body, spirit union. Yoga means union. Pulling them together, and then we're going to do a little Pilates at first, a tiny meditation, 3 minutes, just to get our minds where they need to be aligned with the work. And the meditation is going to turn the Wi-Fi box on for us. Then we're going to connect to the first G, so 7G. We're doing 7 Gs of Wi-Fi. We got to connect them all. We got to put the passwords in. We got to get on the network. So we're doing the first G, which is the first chakra. And the topic is the pride system. We're trying to knock out the pride system. The pride system is our obstacle. We're going through the pride system and getting the 1G set up so that we can connect with the networks, other people, the divine. So stay with me today. Let's get started with Pilates. Let's get the abs going. Place your hands on your thighs and walk your shoulders away. Long, 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 long spine. Lift your head. Lay it back down. Find a neutral pelvis. Hip points and the pubic bone are on the same plane. Close the ribs. Bringing your hands behind your head, never pulling at your neck. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to lift slightly in the upper back, leaving the low back exactly where it is. Inhale. Exhale with a ha sound. Make it audible. Feel the low belly. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Curling in the upper back only. You stay in concrete from tailbone to rib cage. Three more. In Pilates, you never do more than 8 or 10 of anything. So very low reps. Because you just do another exercise. You continue, but you switch to something else because your form starts to go after that amount. And we're all about form in Pilates, but we're all about form in physical therapy as well, because perfect practice, you get great results from that. Sloppy practice, you build poor biomechanical patterns. And then that leads to injury. Now we're going to add a rotation, bring the leg in. Same thing, you're only lifting from here to here. From here to here stays in concrete. And then you're going to switch. Slower's better. Now we're going to wrap the breath around it. Harness it to the body, the mind to the body. Pause. Inhale slow. Now your head is just, you can actually go ahead and interlace your fingers, and your head is resting in the cradle of your hands. There is no pulling. This all comes from the abs. Shoulder blades down the back. Actually, it's a sensation of the shoulder blades wrapping around to the front body. And that allows the arms to rise. Now we're going to add to this by lengthening out the other leg. And switch. If this is too much, you can keep the toe on the floor and slide it. On the inhale, you're switching. On the exhale, you're twisting. You can pause at the top and the bottom of the breath. Low back is still a little bit away from the floor. On most people. If you have a fleshy back, your back will be on the floor. But you still have your slight forward curve in the low back. Neutral. And if you need to know more about neutral, go to week 1 through 3. 2 more. And release. We're going to do Kapalabhati breathing, but let's do some teasers to come up. So teaser is 90 degrees at the knee and the hip. And then you roll up, palms up, inhale, chin to the Adam's apple, and peel up. Hold the backs of your knees if you want. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Actually, your feet can be down. Or up in tabletop. Tilt the pelvis back here. You're laying down each vertebra like you're laying down a string of pearls, one at a time. It's the last one. And the feet, you try it with the feet up this time. Now, breath of fire. So you can be Japanese sitting style or sit however you like. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see my stomach. It's going to go inhale. It's going to get big like a balloon. Exhale, it's going to flatten with the sh sound. Inhale. Shh. 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 Take a drink of water, that'll dry your mouth out. Your hand is going to be here. This is all stable. I'm going to bring it back just because I want you to see my stomach. Shh, 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 shh. Now we're going to pick up the pace. Shh, 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 shh. And then relax. Let's move into our meditation. Sit however you want. Sit in a chair. Quiet your body. Let the shoulders drop. Set all your thoughts on a cloud and let them float away. Gather up the past Everything we just did yesterday, day before, last year, last 10 years, last however long, generationally. If you're holding any grudges or thinking about anything that happened to your parents or your grandparents or your culture, set it on a cloud and let it go. The past is like water down a drain. It's gone. It does not exist. There's no point in trying to gather it up. It's gone. It is not going to return. Let it go. Gather up the future, everything you're going to do tomorrow, today, next year, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, your to-do list. Oh boy, that one's big. Make sure you write your to-do list down somewhere so you don't have to constantly groom it and go over it and over it. And right now you're even putting that list that you've written down, put it on a cloud, let it float away. That will all come back to you later, after this hour. You can ponder about it then, but now is not the time. Let it go. Now look up into your eyebrows. Like you can see your eyebrows. Look up, up, up. Look up until your eyes start to flutter. If you look up long enough, they'll start to flutter. That's okay, let them flutter. And then look down. Close your eyes as if you're looking over a balcony. Your eyes are just downward. And then forget about your eyeballs. You're standing at the top of a staircase in your mind's eye. And we're going to walk down. Start on the 10th step at the top. Hold the rail. Step down 9. Step down 8. On the next step, you feel it below your foot, 7. Next step, 6. 5, you're going deeper. Below you is your castle. You're walking towards it. 5, your inner castle. 4, it's in a beautiful meadow or forest or lake, whatever you want to see. There's your castle. 3, step down 2, you're almost there. Step down 1, and then step into the castle area that surrounds it. This is a peaceful area. Just be here in the lands of the castle. Smell the air. Move into the senses. Smell the air. Behold everything around you in its magnificence. Feel the grass beneath your feet, the wind across your face, the light breeze, maybe the sun on your face. Hear the birds chirping, the little animals talking to each other, the sound of the breeze in the trees. Feel the crispness of the air go in through your nose, into your lungs. Take 3 deep breaths. Do a mental Om sound if you like on your exhale. As you exhale, you can do it out loud or you can do it in your head. And then let's begin. Onto your back. Right foot goes up towards the sky. Interlace behind the hamstring. Lengthen out your back. Lift your head, lay it back down. And then reach the heel up towards the sky. Now I'm interlacing behind the thigh. You can be anywhere you want. Just to warm up, circle that foot. Actually circle both feet. Point the toes hard. Reach around the edges of the circle and flex. Reach through your heels. And then I'm going to bend the knee and reach the opposite hand to foot. You can be at your ankle or your shin if you want. And then the other arm comes to the thigh and presses into the thigh, just giving yourself a little overpressure. It's early here, so know what time of day it is. You're going to be tighter in the morning, of course, than you are in the evening. So even though you know you can come up here and you can stretch, maybe not right now. Get fascinated with your breath as the breath flows in and flows out. Bringing the foot down towards the floor. The hip is going to rise, and you can bring the other arm out to the side. You've got this nice rotation without flexion, so a very straight low back. And you want this rotation, excuse me, in the upper back. Think about the upper back turning, and the arm can be out to the side. And you can float this arm from a T shape to a Y shape and even overhead. Get into your breath. Watch as the breath comes in, fills the lungs, ribs widen. Get fascinated with the movement. And then let's start flipping on, putting our passcodes in for the first G. We're going to a 7G system, 7G Wi-Fi system. 1G is at the tailbone. The color is red. The Muladhara chakra, the first energy center. Just bring your awareness there. The shadow passion, or one of the 7 deadly sins, is pride, and here is where it sits. Pride. I'm all that. I'm better than you are. My team versus your team. My state versus your state. Us. It's always us versus them. I know you think, yeah, you're setting it up to where, oh, this is real. No, it's not. It's an us versus them mentality, whatever you do. Whether it's cooking or it's me against my neighbor. It's always us versus them, though. And then you put yourself in a superior spot. Slowly lower it down, because pride likes to be superior. And you're not. So we're going to, I gotta move down. Bring the left leg in. And how we remove this obstacle is very simple. We pray for grace. And those are our login codes. It is the grace of reverence. There's a specific grace that counters pride. The grace of reverence. This is a tiny kitchen. And I'm sure your kitchen may be tiny too. You just have to move around. Reverence. All is one. So go back to your castle, the land around your castle that you were just in, and practice reverence there. It's easy to practice reverence there. Now bring the foot across. And you can be holding the outer edge of the foot and go all the way down. I can't show you here, sorry. But I'm going to show you a different way. I'm just going to hold the back of the knee. That works too. And then the other arm goes out to the side, rotating through the upper back, not the lumbar. T shape on the arm. You can float to a Y. So you want this stretch across the glute area, but you also want the stretch across the pec. That means this shoulder has to stay off the floor for you to get the pec stretch. Palm must be up, and this bone, the top of the arm, must be down. If you see it poking up like that, the shoulder's in a poor alignment. It goes down the back towards the floor. The shoulder blade goes down the back, and then that flattens out this shoulder. You can lift your head and turn towards the floating arm to rotate through the neck, and the head can you can kiss the shoulder. Float. Reverence. Ask for reverence. Remember our motto, keep asking. Keep asking for those codes, and you will receive them. Keep knocking, and the door will open. Keep doing it. Grace is all around you like stardust, but it's just floating around you until you ask for it, and then that ignites it. That activates it. That gets it moving. See it coming through the top of your head and filling your body as you have reverence and adoration for all the things in your picture, all the things around your interior castle, that whole environment that you just imagined. We talked about the imagination of the false self is a figment of your imagination that you created, but you can create other things with the imagination. That's what it's there for. It's there to help you not to build obstacles. The imagination created the pride system. You imagined that it was us versus them, and then you created an enemy through your imagination. You built that problem, and now you're going to tear down the obstacle, but still using your imagination to help you find the codes. Just like a detective has to use their imagination to figure out the problem, you're going to use your imagination to find the codes. You can bend the knee if you like. If it's too much on the low back, draw the belly towards the spine, using the abs to pull this back into alignment or into neutral. Turn the palms up, chin towards the chest, and slowly roll up. Good. We're going to move towards balancing standing pose. Build your mountain, feet, hips, ribs, shoulders, head. Turn the palms up for the tree. One foot on top of the other, knee turns out. You can be at the calf or the heel at the top of the thigh, or traditional sole of the foot goes up, knee down. Any of these work. You can be near something, touching, releasing. Find the silence of this pose. Now shifting your awareness from your inner castle to the room around you. And ask for reverence for the room around you, whether it's, you've seen me in a lot of environments. I'm in the clinic, I'm in employee housing. I'm not in the nicest environments or beautiful. There isn't a lake behind me with gorgeous scenery. That's okay. I'm in this kitchen. And have reverence for wherever you are. Gratefulness. And reverence. I'm here. I revere where I am, the room I'm in. Even the noises around me. Maybe people chattering in the distance around me. I have reverence for that. I have reverence for the ground I'm standing on. Pray for more reverence. Give me more reverence, please. I'm inhaling more reverence. As you inhale the grace of reverence, see as it comes down and blankets the pride and begins to dissolve it. There's no us and them. It's just us. And we're here in this room or house or neighborhood. We're just here together. It's just that simple. And I have reverence for that. I'm grateful for that. Now the hip or the ankle is starting to burn. This is the intensity of the pose. The pose has just begun when the intensity arrives. Breathe through it. If you're holding the foot, make sure the elbow is bent. Find your breath. Let the breath hold this thing together. And then release. Shake it out. Build your mountain pose. Feet, pelvis, ribs, shoulders, head. The other foot comes up. Hands can be here, prayer position. They can be overhead, but be careful. Go to week 3 if you want to see how to put the arms overhead. And then the foot can be rested on top of the other, touching and releasing with the toe. Calf, stay away from the knee, top of the thigh, or traditional. Sole of the foot goes up. Bend the elbow to stay out of the ligaments of the elbow. I just shifted my foundation. Oh boy, lift your heel and it'll knock you over. That foot has to be firm. The foot, there's this gripping that people go right into with the toes. Let go of the toes. Let the paddle of the foot, the stability of the foot. The foot has to act like a rock to hold this together. Your foundation must be like a rock. Another metaphor for life. Not sand, not wiggly, not a marshmallow on the foot, not a marshmallow on the foundation. It has to be firm like a rock and stable as it can be. And that's why it starts to burn, because it gets tired. But you're increasing the strength of the foot. Big deep breaths, get lost in your breath. And you'll fall down and you'll get back up and do it again. Maybe you fall down twice during this, and then next week you only fall down once, and then at the end of the program you will not be falling at all. And then 2 years later you'll fall down. Just when your pride thinks that I'm all that, anytime you start to think I'm better than them, or I'm just better, that's your pride. I'm superior, because you're not. And the beauty of yoga is right when you start to think that, like you've got a yoga pose down and you're like, I can hold this for 20 minutes. I'm all that. That's the minute you start falling. Just to remind you, you're human. You're not a Greek god. You're human. Which is part of the mammal family. You're a mammal. Let's put things in perspective. In reality, out of your imagination. And you are grateful for that. You have reverence for that. Expanding your awareness to, out of your house and neighborhood, beyond that, the whole country. I have reverence for the country I'm in and the continent. I have reverence for the continent I'm in. And I am grateful. I have reverence for all the people on this continent with me. We're here together. I pray for more reverence, please. I'm knocking for more reverence. Reverence for this continent, this country. Now expand your awareness to the world. I have reverence for the earth itself as it turns around the sun. I have great reverence and awe for the globe, gravity, the weather, the oceans, the land. I revere them, and I ask for more reverence. Please send me the reverence in abundance, in bucket loads. And then move your awareness to the galaxies. We now know there are 100 billion galaxies. Our galaxy is the Milky Way. We are a solar system in our galaxy. There are 100 billion of them. Experience reverence for the galaxies, for the universe itself, for the cosmos, for all that is. And there is probably more. Have reverence and awe for all of those galaxies, the stars, the moons, the planets, the suns. I revere them all, and I pray for more reverence. More reverence. Please fill me with reverence. And release. Shake it out. That was a lot of internal rotation if you were holding your foot on the hip. So we're going to go to external rotation for, it's called a lot of different things, like goddess pose or the horse too. You're going to bend your knees. Your feet turn out, but your knees always have to point in the direction of your feet. That protects the joint. It's the hinge. It's a hinge. Hinges don't twist. They like to operate on one plane. Hands at the hip joint, and then push, 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 push down. Lock the elbows. Get long on the, straighten the elbows, and we're tractioning the spine, getting the spine really long. Good. And then pull the shoulders back some. Arms on water, like you're slapping water. Then palms point forward. Turn the palms towards the head. Breathe. And you can sink as deep into this as you want. You don't want to get down to 90 because then you kind of lose the quad. But whatever your body allows, you can also lift the heel and then switch heels whenever you want. Lift both heels whenever you want. You're going to play with this. We're going to be here. Breathe. I'm going to turn the palms up towards the heavens, kind of like an Egyptian move. But the palms are up to gather light. So see the divine light coming from the heavens into your palms, into your arms, into your heart, flooding your heart. Reverence. Pray for reverence. Please give me the reverence I want and need. Knock out my pride system. Knock out the virus of the pride system. Knock out the firewall of the pride system with reverence. Give me the grace of reverence. Please fill me with reverence from my heart to my toes, to my calves, to my thighs. The pride system no longer serves me. That firewall is no longer needed. I do not need the protection of the firewall of the pride system. Watch in your mind's eye as reverence comes in through your hands, down your arms, fills your heart, and then slides down to the first energy center at the tailbone. And it goes to work on the pride system, dismantling it, unplugging its chips. Like little bots eating it up, pulling it apart, chewing away its connectors. I no longer need the pride system. I do not need its protection. I developed it as a 5-year-old, and I'm no longer 5. I do not need the protection of the pride system. I am enough. I am okay. Please send me reverence to dismantle it. Ujjayi breathing. This is a power move. Remember, you can come high if it's getting to you. Come low if you can handle it. Lift the heels if you like. Ujjayi breathing. Awareness is that the red, the tailbone, the color is becoming brighter red. It's shifting from a muddy red of the pride system into the bright red of reverence for all that is. This room, this country, this neighborhood, this continent, this world, the whole globe, everything on the globe, the solar system, the universe, the cosmos. Total reverence. I pray for more reverence. Please send me more reverence. I need more reverence for this pride system. It's so ingrained into the system. Unplug it, pull it out, drag out its roots in the root chakra. It does not belong there. It is a figment of my imagination as a child. I learned those belief systems from people around me, my parents maybe, my friends. They are not true. Pull them out. They're destructive. They are ruining my life. They are annihilating my happiness. Uproot the pride system. Please, more reverence. Please, more reverence. Release. Boy, that gets all the muscles. Shake it out. Warrior 3. We have to power out the pride system. We've almost killed it. It's a nasty critter. It hurts people. It hurts us more. The system it's sitting in will become corroded. It corrodes the system it's sitting in, but others around you get to feel the pain that it projects. Whenever you're superior, you usually, you're going to make somebody has to be inferior. For you to be superior, someone has to be inferior. That means you're hitting someone over the head with a hammer, trying to tell them they're inferior. That's what this system does. Build your mountain. It no longer serves you. Arms in airplane wings. Palms face forward, shoulder blades down the back. Try to reach your thumbs towards the wall behind you. And you'll feel the middle of the back. Super straight on the elbows. Lock the elbows out here. So there's no weight in the hands, so you can lock the elbows. The minute you put weight in the hands, the ligaments of the elbows get strained. But there's no weight. Step out on one foot. Point the other back for Warrior 3, and you're going to tilt forward. You can be right here if you want. Hips, points are both pointing forward, anywhere along this path to a tabletop. Breathe like you mean it. This is a power pose. Touch the corner walls with your fingertips. Lift the thumbs up towards the ceiling and breathe. Pray for more reverence. Watch as the pride system drops out of your tailbone, down through the leg, and out into the earth. Watch it get gobbled up by the earth. The earth will take care of you. The earth can handle the remnants of your pride system, the ugliness of your pride system. Breathe like you mean it. The virus, and it is a virus that is eating away at you. Lift the leg, breathe, and then step back. Pray for more reverence while you pause. Fill me with reverence as I flush this pride system down through my standing leg into the earth. Fill me with reverence. Come through the top of my head. See the stardust all around you, the reverence floating in the air. And then gather all that through the top. Ask. Ask and you shall receive. Keep asking. Gather it through the palms of your hand, into your body. Reverence. See the stardust of the reverence coming in through your hands and your head, filling your whole body. And then now it's going to concentrate itself to the tailbone area of the pride system. Step out onto the left foot, shift forward, reach back, thumbs up. Warrior 3. Breathe like you mean it. Watch as the reverence takes apart the pride system. Please, more reverence. Please, more reverence. Take the pride system apart. Watch the pride system flush down from the tailbone, down the leg, out through your foot, into the earth. Watch the earth handle that virus. It can take it. It will take it from you. Give it up. Let it go. This belief system no longer serves me. I am enough without it. I don't need it anymore. I don't need to behave like a child any longer. The color dark muddy red at the tailbone is now turning bright red as it's released from the pride system. Bend your knee, step back. Hands in front of the heart. Gratefulness for reverence and its existence. Extended side angle. Step out wide. Turn one foot out. The back foot turns in 45 degrees. Bend into a lunge. Arms up. Reach forward. Windmill the arms. Kiss the top shoulder. Make a blade with the fingers. Reach up and breathe like you mean it. Another power pose. See the tailbone as you press. Inhale, reach into the heavens with your top arm. Turn the palm up and gather reverence. See it come through your hand, down your arm, into your heart, down your spine as it uproots the pride system. The pride goes down the legs, out into the earth because you no longer need it. Breathe like you mean it. Give me more pride. Give me more reverence. I need more reverence for this pride system. Top hand down to the bottom hand, knee down. Stretching the thigh on the back leg. Retract your head to strengthen your neck. Hands into the floor as well. Press your pride system down through your feet, down through your hands, into the earth. Let the earth have the system. Be grateful for the pride. Be reverent to the pride system as well. Wow, you are powerful. And you have been running the show. But I no longer need you. Give it back. Let the earth have it. That is an obstacle on your road to bliss. Reverence is replacing it. In your mind's eye, see reverence taking the chair in the first chakra. The pride system's flowing into the earth. The viruses are falling apart, disintegrating down into the earth. and reverence is taking its place. The color is red at the tailbone. Reverence for all. All. All is one. Shift back, bring the foot in, curl the back toe under, and lift. Front toes are pointing forward, back toes turned out 45 degrees. Draw the right hip, or draw this back, the front leg hip, pull it back until the hips are squared and level. Drop your head. See the pride system falling out of your mind as well. Because that red chakra had tentacles into every cell of your body. Watch as the tentacles fall out of your mind. The pride falls out of your head back into the earth. Pride still flowing out like pus out of a sore. It's going out of your feet, out of your hands, out of the top of your head, back into the earth. Unload it. Get rid of that virus, that obstacle. Let it ooze out in its slimy way. At the same time, watch as the reverence claims the first chakra. It takes over the first energy center. It goes into every area. And it starts to make the first chakra spin, turning like a top. They're supposed to turn. The first chakra starts to spin like a top, and as it spins, it throws out its red color. It throws the red color out into the world, reverence out into the world, as the last remnants of pride go into the earth. The viruses are leaving. You no longer need them. They no longer serve. Back foot comes up to the front foot. Bend your knees, roll up through your spine, inhaling. Other direction. Oh, face forward. Step out. Foot out, back foot in, 45 degrees. Arms out, bend the knee, windmill your arms. Kiss your shoulder. I'm not in a very big stance here because I'm sliding. But you want to be in a pretty wide stance. Breathe like you mean it. Turn the palm up. Claim the reverence. Please bring me the reverence. Breathe like you mean it. Pull it down through the hand from the heavens. Top hand comes down, knee comes down. Shifting forward. Thigh is on a stretch. Retract your head to strengthen your neck. And then bring your hands to the floor. You can either be on the inside or you can straddle the leg. You can be here as well. Put a pillow under the back knee. Unload the little bits, if there's any little bit of the pride system left, press it out through the hands and feet into the earth. Pray for the reverence. Please send me more reverence. I am enough. I am worthy. I no longer need the pride system. I no longer need to feel superior to other people. other things, other animals, other trees, other sentient beings. I no longer need to feel superior because I am enough as I am. There's no reason to put someone else down. Shift back, bring the foot in, curl the toes under, and lift. And you can be higher if you want to. You can even hold on to something if it's better. But you want this hamstring stretch on the front, and the hip of the front leg pulls back until it's level and squared. I'm no longer 5. My imagination and started picking up other people's belief systems, who picked them up from their forefathers and their forefathers. They no longer work. Well, they didn't work then either. But I'm going to change things in my life because I am enough. I don't need a pride system. I'm worthy. Please, more reverence. Watch as the reverence comes in, as the last remnants of the pride system leave. Revel in the reverence. Long, deep breathing. Bring the back foot up to the front foot. Bend the knees, roll up through your spine, inhaling. We'll move into Tai Chi. So we're adding to the Tangled Horse's mane from yesterday. We're moving through the 9 forms of Tai Chi. We may not get to all 9, but we'll do as many as possible, and we'll thread them together as we go along. Today we're doing floating cloud hands, and I want to start with the feet. So hands on the hips, you're just going to step out and back, out and back, out and back, out and back. It's just that simple. It's more of a bow step, stepping out, about hip width apart here, then a bow step in the other direction. So you're just practicing this. Now I'm going to add the torso to it. So the torso always moves 45 degrees to the right and 45 degrees to the left. Now I'm going to go slower. When I come this way, 45 degrees with the foot, coming back to center, 45 degrees towards this foot, center, 45 degrees. We're going to add the hands. The direction you're going is going to be the top hand, and it's if you're hugging a jug. So you're holding the jug, and really they're equal here and then lower here, and eventually this is going to slip to the underneath the jug. You're here, you're going to go to the side, and as you do, as you get out to the side, then you turn the palm and this hand slips under the jug. Something's got to hold that big jug. The top hand presses down and the bottom hand comes up to hug the tree. Hold the jug, palm out, hold the bottom of the jug, comes down, presses down as the other one hugs the tree. Jug, palm out and down. Hug the tree, palm out and down. Hug the tree, palm out and down. Hug the tree. So when you get to the 45-degree, I'm moving the torso with it. When you get to the 45-degree angle, the palm points out. Hug the tree. I'm shifting. Turning through center, 45-degree turn. Hug the tree. I get to the corner, the palm comes out. Switch. Turn to center. Palm out. Now we're going to add the feet. When this arm goes across, you're going to step out. Palm out. Switch as you come back. And step out with the other side. Switch. Come across to center. Bring the foot back. Step out. Then make it flow. Sorry, I stopped. It's like doing this, isn't it? So let's start over. Let's start from the feet. Step out, bring it in, step out, bring it in, add the torso, turn the torso with it, with the foot, bring the torso back to center, 45-degree turn with the foot, back to center, slow it down, torso turns 45 as you step out, and now we're going to bring the arm across. Palm, switch hands, we're going to go really slow, bring it back in, bringing it across, palm out, switch, bring it back across, palm out when you get there, and switch. Bring the jug across, palm out, switch, palm out, switch. So this exercise is both floating cloud hands. It's both yin and yang, which it's like offense and defense. Oh, sorry, I'm talking too much. Bring it. Hand comes down. Let's start over. Continue to do this work, rewind the video, do it with me, and then turn it off and do it on your own until you feel like you have the pattern down. It can be challenging. You can see I have trouble talking and doing it at the same time. I'm a big yoga person. I've been doing that for decades. I can talk and do that at the same time, but I'm pretty new to Tai Chi as well, and but we're all learning here together. This pose, the cloud hands, is both yin and yang, both offense and defense in Tai Chi. And the offense piece of it is like think of a thunderstorm cloud as it pushes away what the pride system in our case. It's pushing away the pride system. It's thundering after the pride system. But then it also has this floatiness, this peacefulness to it, which is the yielding aspect. So you're yielding to reverence as you push away the pride system. It's a push away and a gathering up. Pride system goes, yielding to the reverence. So think about that while you're doing this, after you get the pattern down. And then we're going to string these together. Tomorrow we're going to put the parting horse's mane together with the cloud hands. So you'll get an opportunity to get more flowy. But yeah, practice this on your own. And I will see you in meditation. So come to a seated position that you like. We're going to do a prayer, then a silent meditation, and then a guided meditation. Any position you like works. Let's get comfortable. Set all your thoughts on a cloud. Let them float away. Gather up the past, the future, your to-do list. Set it on a cloud, let it float away. Come to the awareness of your breath. I'm going to take you to your inner castle. I'm going to lead you across the drawbridge with a prayer. I want you to make sure that you're not going to be disturbed. Closing your eyes. I want you to imagine that you're walking towards a castle, and all around you is beautiful greenery. And if you're paused, you could see a valley for miles. On the right and on the left is a beautiful pine forest. And there ahead of you is your castle with the drawbridge down. And you're walking towards the castle and you look around you. And you approach the drawbridge and then you pause. And you walk towards your castle. And see it in all its magnificence. You're going to leave these wide open spaces, and that's okay. You're about to walk into the depth of your interior. Let the grace of this prayer float into you. I cross the bridge into the silent bliss of my interior castle. I close the drawbridge and forbid all outside influences from entry into this holy place that is my soul. Here in my castle, I am alone with God, and under God's light and companionship, I discover the depth and beauty of my soul. I embrace the power of prayer. I open myself to divine guidance, and I surrender myself as a channel for grace, healing, and service as God directs my life. Here I embrace my devotion to the divine, and here in the silence of my castle, I animate my soul's dignity. I feel the sensation of my interior self calling me from within. I resonate deeply to my own divinity. I am prepared to encounter, to become, to dialogue with my own divinity, my soul.
the God that is within me. Here in my castle, my faith becomes a fire, cleansing my soul of every fear. Each time I enter my castle, I trust even more deeply in the presence and wisdom of God. I surrender my mind, my heart, my need for safety, and my need for rational explanation and orderly instructions to God's will for me. I trust that all that is in my life is as it should be. I release the need to know why events happen as they do, whether painful or glorious. I release the need to let others know they have harmed me, and I ask forgiveness from all those whom I have harmed. I release my fear of being abandoned on this earth and left to face my life alone, for I am never alone. I release my fear of becoming infirm. I surrender and trust that I am on this earth with purpose. I am guided, I am cared for, and every prayer is heard and every prayer is answered. I am a channel for grace, and I delight in the silent bliss that surrounds me in the sacred center of my castle, in the intimate presence of God. In the silence of my castle, the only voice I hear is God's. I want you to imagine that you are now in the center of your castle, in a beautiful, beautiful courtyard. And I want you to picture yourself turning around and closing the drawbridge. And in the beautiful center of the castle, I want you to deeply feel, perceive a silence deep in your soul for the first time. Deep in your soul, go to your belly. Go deep in your belly and feel yourself completely surrounded by the love of God. Here you are safe, safe. All your needs are taken care of. You truly are known by God. You are fully known. Your life deeply matters. No matter the chaos in this moment, your deeply matters. Your life deeply matters. You have entered your castle. You have entered your soul. This is your first mansion, the mansion of chaos, the mansion of humility, and the mansion of the seduction of God. Rest in these ideas. You are now in the court of humiliation, which is associated with pride. I want you to imagine this court in your castle, what it looks like. It's torch lit and you're walking down on stone floors. And the walls are thick and it's familiar. You know this place. But it feels very deep. It feels very, very silent. And on the right is a door, and it's a thick wooden door, and I want you to open it up, and you hear it go. Walk in, and in a room there is a chair, an easy leather chair, and there's a little table and a candle lit. Go sit there. You're on a little rug, and there's a letter waiting for you, and the letter is between you and your soul. This is a room where you and your soul are going to discuss the controlling influences through your life that humiliation has had over you, and the fear of being humiliated, which leads to pride. And throughout your life, the fear of being humiliated has penetrated in so many ways, influencing what you've done, what you do, the choices you make, who you love, how you've loved, whether you're forgiven, whether you pick up the phone to call someone you've longed to speak to, but you won't because of pride. How many times you would love to have said something or done something, but your response is, what will they think of me? How many times you've been instructed in your gut to do something, but you haven't, because you thought, no, because what if I fail? What if I am humiliated? This room is thick. This is a hall of records. What you're going to discover as you sit in this room, in your soul, is that this room hurts. This is a room of authority. And on this nightstand is a very thick pad of paper. And you're going to write notes to yourself as your soul reveals to you more and more. You were supposed to do this. You could have done that. Let's discuss this. Let's clean this out once and for all. Because at the root of so much humiliation is blame. In order to live with humiliation, you've had to find people to blame. And they're in this room too. And so you need to list how the fear of being humiliated has been an influence on you all of your life. From your hairstyle, to picking out your wardrobe, to determining whether or not you speak to people you've wanted to speak to, or not ever spoken to them again. To your grade school years, to who you've become friends with. You have a lot of work to do in this room, a great deal of work. I would encourage you to begin going back as far as you can in your memory and ask your soul to talk to you, to reveal, to just be with you. Just be with you. And now, as we prepare to leave the room, I want you to feel as though you have closure with your soul in this moment. And I want you to feel a level of deep spiritual gratitude. I remind you that this is very profound and very difficult work. And yet, I want you to take a moment and feel how blissfully liberating this feels. Blissfully liberating. Every time you visit this room, your soul feels so grateful. And you feel so reverent for life. Now let's walk out of this room and close the door. Here in the court of humility, we're walking towards a room in which a focus of work is among the most important you will ever do in the first mansion of pride. As you walk down, I want you to look to your left, and there's a rosewood door. There's a fragrance to the door. I want you to open it up, and as you go into the room, the walls are a soft yellow. When the room's very comfortable, a candle is lit. There's a beautiful chair. There's a lovely window. The room is set for deep introspective work, and there's a letter, always the letter from the soul with your instructions. Sit in the chair and open the letter. Take a deep breath. And as you dialogue with the soul, the question that you are focusing on, and put your attention deep in your soul, is a difficult question. Being humble is not easy. It could be one of the greatest challenges of your life. We don't associate being humble with power. We associate it with poverty, with vulnerability, with being cornered. The last thing we think about being humble is that it is God's ultimate shield of protection. And so anytime we have been humiliated, we rarely see through that it could be a blissful lesson in how to be humble. In this room, dialogue with your soul about your associations with being humble, not humiliated, but humble. What do you associate it with? Why are you afraid of it? This is a room to come to when you are in situations where you know it is appropriate to be humble and you're afraid you won't be able to hold that position. Whenever you know you are about to go into a circumstance and you know you fear pride, arrogance coming up in you, and you know that is the worst part of you, you come in here and you pray in this room and you say, God, I need to be in great humility. Keep me humble. I need that shield. I cannot enter into this situation in arrogance and pride, or it will destroy me. And all the good that I could do in this moment on this earth, hubris comes from fear of being raped and my fear of being humiliated. And if you send me into this circumstance, you are sending me there. And I must go and trust. In this room, no matter when or in what circumstance, you must investigate what it is about being humble that intimidates you, so that you can build a deep, soul-filled respect for humility, trusting that humbleness is the deepest form of protection on this earth. It is your way to go into skies. It was the disguise of Jesus. It was the disguise of Buddha. It was the disguise of Gandhi. It was the disguise of every great human being given a great spiritual task, was first deeply humiliated so that they could be protected by humbleness. Learn this truth. Become this truth. Fall in love with this truth. This is your room of humbleness. Stay in this deep, rich place as we journey to the next room. Continuing down the corridor of humbleness, as you turn to your right, there is a beautiful door. It's a beautiful white and blue pearl door. It is gorgeous. I want you to open it up. And when you walk in, you think, what an exquisite room. And the room is filled with the most beautiful objects of art and the most beautiful treasures. And you think, what is this room? In this room is you. This room is filled with all of your potential power of the soul. Jewels of sight, jewels of vision, jewels of healing, jewels of grace. They're waiting to be illuminated in you. They're just waiting, not as rewards. You're not going to get rewarded. Don't even go there. They simply melt into you. They melt through your soul like warm melted butter. Falls into your system as your own field of grace heats up through faith, through prayer, through trust. I want you to imagine that right there in the corner is this luscious, beautiful, down, gorgeous, comfy chair. Go sit over there. Wrap yourself in a blanket. There's a letter. Open it up. Focus all of your attention in your solar plexus. Go deep with your soul. And with your soul say, talk to me, reveal. I need 3 positive images of myself as a humble and gracious person. I need this. Fill me with who I can be. If I am blessed with empowerment, I must be humble. What am I as a humble person? Fill me with humility. I must image humbleness and mean it. I must be that. I must embody it. How can I be of service and remain in true humbleness? No matter what is asked from me, for you can send me into the heart of fame, into the heart of the public, or you can send me into obscurity. I take my hands off of that. Whatever it is, let me simply love humbleness. So in this room, no matter what jewel is given to you, no matter what has melted into your soul, you visualize all of your jewels melting, your soul becoming fully empowered, and you staying humble. I assure you, this is a challenge. I want you to image empowerment, and that sometimes your pride will come up, and sometimes you'll feel that, and this is good. This is good. Go through that, and then say, I see exactly where glamour might get me. Gotcha. Keep me humble. Always keep me humble. Remind me when glamour comes too close. Remind me when I feel arrogance come up. Remind me. Keep me humble as my gifts melt into my soul so that I can accept every one of the gifts that my soul has to offer. I do not want to block my empowerment for fear that I cannot handle my grace. My grace of reverence. This is the room of power, humbleness, and grace, all the graces. And anytime you feel I need to pull on a new inner resource, you come into this room. And you say to your soul, I need a new gift. Melt a new power into me. I need a new gift. You may feel it when you are not feeling well. You may feel it when you need to be of service to another person, when you need to be available as a source of grace for someone. You come in here and you visualize yourself on your knees praying, please pull the grace through me. I know my soul has the stamina. I know my soul has the stamina. And keep me humble as my soul is built and scaffolded towards illumination. Amen. Let it be so. Now, taking a deep breath, we're going to leave the castle through a stairway. You'll start on the first step. Step 1. You're feeling the empowerment of humbleness. Step 2. Humbleness is moving throughout your body and getting stronger. Step 3. Even stronger. Step 4. The pride and arrogance are trailing behind you like a snail leaves a trail. Step 5, the pride is completely melted off of you. The arrogance is gone. Step 6, the humbleness is growing more intense. Step 7, even more intense. 8, 9, 10, you're at the top of the staircase. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Choose 3 blessings in your life and give thanks. As you exhale, lower your ego mind below your compassionate heart in reverence. Inhale as you rise. And namaste. The light in me honors the light that shines within you. Amen. Let it be so. Shanti, peace. I'll see you tomorrow.